Hey folks, I've got another recommendation from Will Nediger over at his blog. This comes from his July 2022 Independent Crossword Recommendations. And this one comes from schmosswords, which I've done a puzzle from here before. It's Kate Chin Park's blog. I've done a few puzzles from her. This particular one is a co-construction with Dob Olino, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Dob actually this weekend did the Lil AVCX puzzle, so constructed before, but also is one of the hosts of Cross Weird, which is kind of like a Twitch stream for the crossword world. The title for this one is Turtle Island, and yeah, there's a pretty long introductory text here. It's no spoiler to say this is a puzzle that seeks to highlight native cultures of this continent. A couple of things should be said about this. Foremost among them, we, as in the constructors, are not native. Our knowledge, what there is of it, comes from searching things out and reading, not from stories or family lore, etc. Okay, so trying to celebrate native culture. They have some links to some resources about native culture if you want to dig into that. But one thing right off the bat you'll notice is that this is not a puzz file. So normally I solve a cross-light puzzle format in a cross-light, but if you use the JPZ file format, you can do some more interesting things. And this would be one of it. You can make cool crossword art, and I believe there are some like word breaks in these. So you can see like 2 down doesn't extend all the way across. So you can do stuff without having black squares. You can have line breaks and stuff. You just can't do that with the puzz format. You need a grid. So yeah, I will start in on this, I guess. So we'll see how I do with the Native American culture stuff. All right. So 2019 hit by Lizzo, about which she said, "I want these blanks to know that you could be my next victim if you play your cards right." Do not know. Short-handed typist, probably a steno. Neighbor. Oh. Thickness measuring tool. Is that a caliper? Off-Broadway Theater Award is an Obie. Oops. Oh, neighbor as in to neighbor something is a butt. Group that includes the Sugpiaq and other peoples of the Alaskan Peninsula and surrounding regions. So I'm really going to apologize in advance that if there is a lot of native language or names in here that I will not probably do well in pronouncing them. I'm going to guess this is boys. Is this you pick? Absurd is probably a Nain. Indonesian island home to a dragon, Komodo. Media organization with the slogan "Ideas Worth Spreading." That's TED. Palindromic French pronoun. Is that L? Sheet with Sleeping Beauty on it, perhaps, a cell. Maybe pale or brown, an ale. People of Alaska and Kamchatka or Krai, who also use the name Unang. Yeah, I'm not... I apologize. So I'm guessing these red words must be names of native groups. Okay. Lead into gram meter or in a crime against music, tonics. Penta. Oh, and it's cool that these names appear to be kind of where they fall geographically, because I think Aleuts and Yupik are in the Alaska area, yeah. So I'm guessing that's what we'll get. I believe it's Dal Makani. International Alliance with Eponymous Alphabet, NATO. Coming up after the current show on deck. Would that be right? Maybe not. Nope. On next. Because the fasting month is Ramadan. Sparkly headwear, tiara. Nuh-uh. Nope. Wavy do. Perm. Garden State, Eden. Okay, First Nations group that includes the Yellowknives and other Arctic communities, and whose name is the Athabascan word for people. I don't know. Oh, Dene? Dean? Not sure. Term of identity in Canada that, when all lowercase, refers to having mixed race ancestry, but when capitalized, affirms formal membership in blank nation. Is this like Métis? This is one I've actually heard of before. I had a student write a paper about this once. Result. Group whose members are, I'm guessing, BTS. Raz, Rib, OG, Ice-T. Singer Spectre, Regina Spektor, love her. The Stooges is the Iggy Pop band. Just out of metal contention. Is that fourth? Oh, and Effect is the result. Admiring is fond of. First Bond film is Dr. No. PC or console players, gamers. Pacific Northwest people whose traditions include mask carving, potlatches, and distinguishing clan lines between those of the raven and those of the eagle. I think it's Tlingit. Okay, Anya Taylor-Joy is Queen's Gambit. In Rehab? Rookie mistake? Structure subtly different from labyrinths, mazes, I would assume. It is not in Rehab. Okay, because assign functions to different keys is remap. A rookie mistake. It wasn't a mistake in the clue, so typo. Filmmaking duo, the Coen brothers. In a cast, okay. Window over a door. Not sure. Couples cruise director. Meh. Is that so-so? Adds on. Tax on? Oh, Noah. So the Arc 2x2. Window over a door. Stage name of rapper and NWA member Lorenzo Patterson. MC Ren, I think? Drawn in by the portrayal of the restaurant industry in The Bear, say. Not sure. Like a faded memory? Would that be hazy? Chinook would be people whose ancestors lived near the mouth of the Columbia River for over 6,000 years. Highly fidgetable lighters. Zippos? Wrapped, I guess would be that. Will I be able to follow blank if I didn't see 1et through 9et? 10et. Christopher Nolan film. Blank Light. Cheap beer brand for short. Guessing that is Natty. It's like Nez Pence or something like that. Bueller, anyone? Mortarboard Dangler, a tassel. I'm not used to solving an X word, this piece of software. Usually other software skips already filled in boxes. Seafarer's Greetings, ahoys. God portrayed by Chris Hemsworth, Thor. Tofu Bean, Soya? Yeah, Yo-Yo Ma's a cellist. Sierra Nevada people whose southern subgroup, the Yahi, lost their last surviving member in 1916, and whose other constituent communities form part of the Redding Rancheria vibe. Not sure. Saoirse of Little Women, so that's Ronan. With an I think. Macedonians and Serbs. I think it's a Slavs. Inhabitants of the largest Native American reservation in the U.S., whose creation mythology includes the weaving of the universe. I know that as the Navajo. Trick or treat. Are those nouns? Place trust in. Rely on. Treats as a potential sprain. Ices. Nez Perce. Wait, what's this? Window over a door. Trans... Why don't I know this? Okay. Zoinks something. Moe's Tavern is in Springfield. Oh, Zoinks Scoob, so Scooby-Doo, yeah. Burden onus. Misuse. So a transom? I don't know if I've heard that. Do we have 46 across yet? Yeah, gamers. So noob. Ojibwe must be the tribe. Oh, Louise Erdrich. I've read a couple of her books, both great. Belarusian Russian capital, home to the world's biggest individually hand-woven tapestry. Minsk, probably. Ritz Crackers manufacturer, Nabisco. Serena Slam. Not sure. Mark left by a wound. Scar? Oh, would this just be an ace, maybe? Nation also called the Kickapoo, which once occupied a region near the Great Lakes, but now inhabit a vast area of central southern U.S. Is that Kickapoo? Element of taste, salt, fat, acid, and heat, I believe is the book. I own a copy of that. Insect repellent ingredient, DEET. Apartment building listing. Not sure. Annoyed by portrayal of Chicago accents in The Bear, irked. Took notice in a way. Peanut butter candy format. Cups. Email command, send. Double reed instrument, oboe. Played that for a while in high school. Portion. Word sometimes confused with venom. I'm going to assume that's poison. Bed tether, for example. Booby follower, trap, probably. Strap? Comic boom, maybe kapow. Word with credit or mile. Extra credit, extra mile. Full reach, extent. NBA team besmirched by the flat earth, anti-vax, self-righteous buffoonery of Kyrie Irving. I guess that's the Nets. Chinese dynasty or the last great American dynasty. Is that a Taylor Swift reference? Pueblo must be this one, just by its location. People known for their adobe-built villages. Taos, Zuni, Hopi, Laguna. Nation of Deb Haaland, the Secretary of the Interior. Flower, or flower. Oh, is it just song? That is a Taylor Swift song. Flower, bloom. Oh, this must be Arapaho. Word said twice while winking and elbowing someone in the arm. Not sure. Roadside lodgings, inns. Pawnee would be the Plains Nation. Let's see. Subset is the portion. Oh, hint, hint. Okay. Can't do this. See ya. I'm out. Workers' organization is a union. Don't look at this on your company computer. Not safe for work. Undoubled Cantonese and musical sounding term for one's maternal grandfather. Not sure. Greek letter referring to the summation in mathematical notation. That's a sigma. Sigma. Oh, gong, I guess. When chopped salad chains tend to do the most business, lunch. One who prefers routine, a comic. One-time radio industry giant. Okay, Dr. J is Irving. Tab for a trip is LSD, so RCA must be the radio industry giant. Diverse people whose largest subgroups include Mescalero and Chiricahua, the latter of which was the tribe Goyatle, leader famous for his fierce resistance to U.S. invasions. Is that Apache? Beverage found in 155 down. Have I done 155 down? Nope, it's over here. Vessel for someone. Is this going to be pop and can, maybe? Tapping target. Not sure. Old enough? Appendage pampered by a spa pedicure. Foot? Toe? Okay, so old enough must be of age, so I guess foot. Icon. Oh, you double tap. Okay. Like myths about the 114 across, which is Thor, so those are Norse. Area around a fireplace, the hearth. People of the central Mexican plateau whose self-names include Nanyu, Nyanyu, and others. Not sure. Achy is sore. Came off as, maybe seemed. Chucked is through. Triumph, I win, so it must be Otomi. Might be between file and view, edit. First of XXX or OO, tic-tac-toe. Great breakfast, maybe? What is the cereal? Oh, is it just cereal? Like, what's that specific cereal? That Frosted Flakes? When years counted down instead of up, or so a kid might think. Not sure. Maybe if you ask nicely. One who acts. Beaver's project is a dam. Oh, I guess a doer. Willing partner, able. Sobe. No, Boba. Oh, the Maya, people whose ancestors' knowledge of astronomy and skill in architecture were used in the building of celestially oriented temples. Okay. All right, so I've got all of Mexico here. Bat in place of. Hit 4. What I got here? Chatting online, IMing. Once mound-building people whose nation is commonly referred to as Este. I apologize. Little in Lima. That's Spanish for little. Don't remember. Key whose relative major is G major, so E minor. Universal blood type, is that O negative? Spin class is high intensity cycling class. Poco, yeah. On end must be stacked books. Let's see. Let's just go up to the corner here. Behind, inquire. Maybe inquire is asked. Behind, no. Hand placed around shoulder level and singing a certain children's tune. That would be your spout, if you're a little teapot. Blueprint info is a spec. Oh, behind would be ass, yeah. Held on to, kept. TV family with a fridge always stocked with gabagool. And I'm not sure what that character is, but Sopranos. Nation that includes the Plains blank and Moose blank communities, like Cree. Get over here. Uteri. Ova as in eggs. Who dares oppose me? Overly cutesy, twee. Whimper as a dog wanting to be let out, whine. owns, has. PMS symptom for some. Is that an ache? Not my bad. Sick. Sir, this is a Wendy's. People of Eastern Canada whose homeland is known as Nitassinan, our land. Giant ominous disc over Los Angeles, UFO. Is it Inhu? Not sure. Boltmate. Is that nuts and bolts? AKA, letters for an alias. Sudoku is a square number puzzle. Rollaway options, cots. Dine in, eat at. Type of wave or pool, tidal. Nation whose members once used the name Mahikanuk, the people of waters that are never still. I would assume that's Mohican. Tintus hue. Took notice, in a way. Took notice. Sure. Papa don't preach. Sat up would be take notice. Some sweet suckers. Dum-dums. Got it. Tim Duncan is a spur. Some places for outlets, malls. Equal but not sweet and low. Joy Reid, I want to say, is the MSNBC host. Abu Dhabi. Express pleasure at the use of 110 across, which is strap, moaned. Let's see. Muskogee? Might be. Battery terminals are anodes. Escape is the key to get out. Misfortune. Whoa. Okay, Shawnee must be the Eastern Woodlands people. Equal but not sweet and low. Same. And Lumbee? Did I get all the squares? I haven't used Xword very often, so I actually don't know. I didn't get a notification that I'm... Wait. Why do I only have 46% done? Let's see. Can I check my puzzle? Acne and Inu. Okay. Check grid. No incorrect letters. Okay. I'm not sure why this isn't. I'm not sure why this isn't giving me fully completed. I'm not sure. It only says 46%. I believe this is the full puzzle. What happens if I reveal the grid? Yes. Oh, no incorrect. Okay. Oh, I wonder if this empty area they are counting as squares, so it's only counting 46%. Again, not sure how the JPZ format and the Xword program works, but yeah, this was cool. Really cool theme. So having all of these names of Native American groups, roughly where they actually live, or at least are where they're from. So a ton of theme going on here, some of it crossing. And interesting use here of kind of non-standard crossword formatting. I want to say, if you zoom in, no. Sometimes you can get, maybe it's just an option that I don't know how to use, that you can get like lines showing where the word breaks are, because it's a little confusing here of like where things happen. I think that's just, I don't have this set up correctly. If I go to preferences, yeah, I'm sure there is a way to do this, but again, don't use this very often. But yeah, cool art here. Again, not using black squares, but instead using just like dividing lines allows you to do something like this, to have North America as your art without, I mean, this would be impossible, obviously, if you weren't using these line breaks. Okay, so what did Will Nediger say about this? A lovely puzzle that includes the names of a couple dozen indigenous groups from North America in geographically appropriate locations. Architectural feat, very thoughtful puzzle. Yeah. Great, and he especially loved the clue for uteri. Get ova here, which was pretty great. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, check out some of the other ones on my channel, or consider subscribing. Click the link to Crossword Schmosswords if you want to check out some of the other puzzles that Kate Shin Park has constructed. Otherwise, thank you for watching.